Hi, I'm Terie Sandusky, licensed massage therapist, coming to you today from Queen Anne Healing Arts on the topic of fertility acupressure. Today we will be learning points that you can do both during the follicular and the luteal phase of your cycle. We will begin with the follicular phase, which starts on the first day of your menstruation and goes through until you ovulate. So if you are charting your fertility, this would be the first day of your fertility chart. And the first point that we will do on the follicular phase is spleen 6. This is the most important point in fertility acupressure. If you learn just one point, this would be the one. And spleen 6 is located on the inside of your ankle bone, right above the ankle bone. You put your 4 fingers just above the ankle bone and press. And you can press for 30 seconds to 3 minutes on this point. And as you press in, you may notice that the point caves in a little bit. The amount that the acupressure point caves in will indicate depletion. And this is a blood energy depletion. So if you see that the point is really caving in, that can be one of the reasons contributing to the infertility. You can do this point anytime. If you're in an office and you have a few minutes break, you can just sneak in a spleen 6 point, and you can do this one during meetings. No one needs to know you're doing self-acupressure. When I use acutonics, I like to use the Earth Day 5 tuning fork, which is very nourishing to spleen 6. And this point can also aid in increasing libido, increasing appetite, increasing overall energy. And this is an amazing point to do for menstrual cramps. This point can instantly stop a menstrual cramp. And I would do spleen 6 on both sides of the legs. And this has an overall nourishing effect on all the gynecological, your uterus, your abdomen, your ovaries. And it's very nourishing and building. The next point is kidney 7, which is located on the inside of the leg behind the ankle bone in this little hollow. This can be a very sensitive point. This brings nourishing chi to the kidneys, and the kidneys are very responsible for both conception and supporting a healthy pregnancy. I like to use the full moon tuning fork when I do this point. And this just opens up the whole kidney meridian. And you would do this on both sides. And if you're not using the tuning forks, you could just do self-massage, just a nice circular motion for about 30 seconds to 3 minutes. You can really just massage this whole area. And just up from kidney 7, if you go 4 fingers up, is kidney 9. And this is more towards the back of the leg than spleen 6, but they are very close together. And again, you would just massage with your thumb in a circular motion if you were doing this to yourself. And I would use the full moon fork on kidney 9. Kidney 9 is said to produce a child with a perfect complexion, a child that sleeps during the night and laughs during the day, a child that is both healthy, smart, good looking. This point is said to produce the absolute dream child. And the next point I would do for fertility acupressure during the follicular phase is kidney 3. This point is known as bubbling spring, and it is located right in the ball, underneath the ball of the foot, right in the center of your foot. And you could just massage it in circular fashion with your thumbs, and you're just bringing chi to this area. This is a very nourishing point. This point can be used in resuscitation. If you had somebody who passed out, you could do this point and bring them back to life. So it's very rejuvenating for the whole body. And again, I would do both feet. And if I were using tuning forks, again, I would do full moon on this one. And the next point I would use would be stomach 36. And there's a really fun way of finding stomach 36, which is if you just place your thumb on the top of your kneecap, it's right where your middle finger lands, just on that bony landmark. I'll just show you here, right there. And again, you would just massage it with a circular fashion, or you could also just hold the point. And this is another one that you can look to see if it caves in. If it caves in, sometimes that can indicate that your immune system is lowered, or there could be stomach issues. In stomach 36, I would go back to the Earth Day 5, and I would just do a little acutonics on that point. And this nourishes the whole body and really prepares the body for becoming pregnant, gives you that energy that you would need. And I would do this point on both sides. And again, just placing my thumb on the kneecap, it's right where my middle finger lands. And you could just do a nice circular motion, or you could just hold it with your thumb. The next point is stomach 36, which is located just beneath the kneecap. And a fun way to find stomach 36 is to place your thumbs on your knee, top of your knee, and then it's right where your middle finger would land. And it's right on the bony landmark. So you can just do a nice circular motion here, or you can also just apply pressure with your thumb. And I would hold this point for at least 30 seconds to 3 minutes. This is a wonderful nourishing point for the stomach. This really benefits the immune system and overall health and energy of the entire body. And again, on this point, I would use the Earth Day 5 tuning fork, which is the green tuning fork. And this would just help to build and nourish the body. And you would do both sides. And you can do this one just as often as you like. I would try to get it in at least once a day. And this point can be used during both the follicular and the luteal phase. The next point that I would use for the follicular phase is the Hoku point. And this point is located between the thumb and the forefinger, right in that hollow. And you can just press your thumb into that hollow and hold for about 30 seconds to 3 minutes. This is a great point for headaches. This point really helps to get your menstrual cycle started, so it just brings all that energy down. You only want to use this point during the follicular phase if you're trying to have a baby, because you don't want to use it if you are pregnant. This point is used to induce labor. So once you become pregnant, you would stop using the Hoku point. And I would do both hands. This is a really nice point to do at the beginning of your menstrual cycle, just to get your cycle flowing. The next acupressure point is Ren 6, also known as the Sea of Qi. This point is located in the abdomen, just 3 fingers beneath the belly button. So you find the belly button and then 3 fingers and you press. And this is a really good exercise you can do for this Sea of Chi, this Hara building point, which is to just bring your abdomen, bring your breath into your belly and just fill your belly like a balloon. And then on the exhale, just let all the air out, let your belly cave in, and you can apply a little more pressure at that point. And as you apply more pressure on the exhale, you may feel a little pulse. And then lighten up your pressure as you take another deep belly breath and just fill your belly with oxygen. And this really activates the Hara. And then as you exhale, you would just press in a little bit deeper, getting deeper each exhale. And do this exercise at least 6 to 10 times with 6 to 10 inhales and exhales. You could do this at night before you go to bed, or you could do it first thing in the morning to energize your day. When I'm using the tuning forks, I really like to do the Solar 7 on the Sea of Chi, this Ren 6, and I'll have my client take a deep belly breath. And as she exhales, I just put a little more pressure. It's that same exercise. And this rejuvenates the whole body and brings fresh blood to the abdomen and fresh blood to the uterus. Another point you could do with the Sea of Chi is as you're doing the Solar 7, you could also add in this sternum point, which is conception vessel. And this conception vessel is really good for increasing fertility. Sometimes I like to do the Sea of Chi and conception vessel together. And this just gives the whole body energy, rejuvenation. There's a wonderful saying, feed and breed. Your body has to be well fed and nourished to want to breed and make a baby. So once you get the body replenished and full of energy, you'll be ready to conceive. And with this point, conception vessel, I like to also do a little tapping exercise. You can do this on yourself, just a nice simple tapping of the sternum. And this just brings lots of blood to the conception vessel. And sometimes I will hold these 2 points together. And those are all the points for the follicular phase. The next phase is the luteal phase, which begins on the day you ovulate until you have your first day of your menstrual cycle. Generally, this phase lasts 10 to 14 days. During the luteal phase, there is a combination of acupressure points known as Ren Mai that is a very powerful point for helping to hold a pregnancy if you have conceived, and also just to nourish your body in general. And this starts with kidney 6, which is located directly on the heel bone. And so you would just press on the heel bone, and you could massage it with your thumb, and you could just hold that point as well. This is called the kidney source point. And so it's very nourishing to the kidneys, and the kidneys are responsible for holding a pregnancy. And the second point is lung 7, and that is located on the inside of the arm, just at the wrist, just beneath the wrist bone. And you would press these 2 together. And when you do the 2 points together, this combination is known as Ren Mai, and it opens up the conception vessel. It's a very powerful point for conceiving. And just have your client take some nice deep breaths as you hold this point. And I do this point cross-laterally, so if I have the right wrist to do the lung 7, the left wrist for the lung 7, then I would do the right heel for the kidney 6. And then I would do the other side as well. With the left foot, I would just place my fingers right on the heel bone. And my other thumb I would place right on lung 7 at the inside of the wrist. And when I do this point with tuning forks, I really like to use the New Moon fork, which is the light blue, in combination with the Om fork on the kidney point, the blue point on the lungs. And during the luteal phase, you would again be able to do all of those kidney points that we learned. So you could do the kidney point just underneath the ankle bone, and you could just massage this whole region. And even the heel of the foot. In foot reflexology, this indicates the uterus. So just massaging this whole region and underneath the heel bone. And of course, kidney 7, kidney 9. You want to nourish this whole region. You can even just do some nice leg massage that goes up the leg. And this opens up the spleen and kidney meridians. And you can do kidney 3, which is the bubbling spring. And just generally massage all through the legs. Is a great way to nourish the body. And during this point, we won't be doing any points that are contraindicated during pregnancy, because at this point your client could be pregnant. So mostly what we want to do is just nourish and relax. And one of my favorite points for just having a woman relax is the yin tang. That's located just between the 2 eyebrows, and it's that point right in the middle. And this point just reduces anxiety. A lot of times when you're trying to have a baby, you can have a lot of anxiety about that. And you can just gently place your middle finger right on the yin tang. And then have your client take a nice deep breath. And this point will help them sleep through the night and just be peaceful and relaxed. And later, when you have a child and you're trying to get them to go to sleep at night, you can also do the yin tang to get those little ones down. I use this one all the time on my son to get him to go to sleep. And when I'm doing tuning forks on the yin tang, I like to use the gold ohm and the new moon. And I just place those on the yin tang and have my client take a deep breath. So I'm going to show you how to do a very simple castor pack. You can find more complicated packs directions, but this is just a simple, easy way to do it that's not so messy. And you would like to do the castor packs during your follicular phase, after your period, but before you ovulate. Once you are trying to conceive and you have ovulated, you don't want to do the castor packs anymore because they're very detoxifying. And I use good food grade quality castor oil. You want to make sure your castor oil is hexane free and is that's something that you could actually eat. And then you just place a small amount on your hands and begin to rub that into the belly. I like to do nice circular motions over the ovaries and over the uterus. And the castor oil packs are really good at bringing nourishing blood into the abdomen, uterus, and ovaries. They can unblock blocked fallopian tubes. They can remove fibroids. And they basically detoxify the entire uterus and ovaries. It's kind of like cleansing out your uterus in preparation for the baby. As one teacher said, you wouldn't want to put your baby in a dirty crib. Well, you wouldn't want to conceive a baby in a dirty uterus either. And the castor pack will really help you cleanse this area. And so nice circular motions over the ovaries and nice circle patterns over the abdomen. And when I'm doing this at home on myself, I would go a little bit lower, possibly right to the pubic hairline. And after you've done maybe 3 or 4 rotations of circles, you can also do some sweeping from the side down. And we're just trying to draw everything down and out and cleanse. And then just before you put your flannel sheet on, you might want to apply a little bit more castor oil. This stuff is very sticky and messy. So I like to do this at night when I'm in my pajamas, and my pajamas I don't care about because it does wash out, but it's pretty sticky stuff. So you apply even more liberal amount of the castor oil. And then just place a nice flannel pillowcase right over that. And now I have a nice warm heating pad, and I'm just going to place the heating pad right over my flannel pillowcase. I don't have need for saran wrap or anything like you might hear of other ones. This is just a simple way to do it. And I do this at night as I'm crawling into bed, and I leave the heating pack on for 30 minutes up to an hour. Really let that castor oil get heated up and work all those toxins out and clear out your uterus. Now, after you do a castor oil pack, you will want to drink a ton of water because you will be just clearing out so much stuff. So for the next few days, you will want to drink more than usual. And that is all there is to doing a castor pack.